hands down. Hands down shit, you know what I mean?
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Hands Down Sports here on YouTube. And this is your starting lineup podcast. And today is going to be MLB and NBA talk, because there's a lot of things I got to talk about. I mean, the torpedo bats, the Knicks making it to the playoffs. They have 50 wins right now. So we'll see with the last few games what happens. We have some teams that we haven't even beat this season. So we'll check that out. So sit back, relax. I usually tell you to go get your J and Yak, but today we're going to put that down. My condolences to all the family members in the Dominican Republic that lost someone in that tragic, situation there where the roof collapsed at a nightclub, and they have live bands there and stuff, and some famous people have passed, former MLB and merengue superstars, legends in the game. I just want to give out my condolences. I'm very sorry for this tragic situation here, and I hope everybody finds their peace and everybody can get through this the best way they can. All right, my people. So real quick with the NBA, man. The New York Knicks have 50 wins. We lost to the Celtics yesterday. We have lost every single regular season game against the Celtics this year. If we face them in the playoffs, I think that's going to continue, man. Sorry to say it, man. I want the Knicks to win a championship more than any Knicks fan in the world, even former players. But it's not looking good, bro. The Cavs are doing really good. They're still in first place. And so we beat the Hawks. We beat the Suns. We lost to the Celtics. Now we got the Pistons, who's a playoff team right now. The Cavs, who are pretty much the first or second best in the league. And then we have the Nets, who are our little brother. We'll smack that up. I mean, we'll put the bench out there. They win, they win. Who cares? We're in the playoffs already. But it's been very, very frustrating, man, because OG is playing amazing. Guys have stepped up their game when Brunson went down, so we didn't lose every single game. We won more than we lost, but there's a big problem when it comes to playing the first and second best team in the Eastern Conference. Where the Knicks, we can't. We'll see what we do with the Cavs coming up, but I don't see it, man. I see them taking it down and beating us in the playoffs if it comes to that. But that's a different game, man. We'll see what's going on. Maybe we're just playing like, oh yeah, we let them win, so that, when we beat them in the playoffs, is a shocker. But whatever it is, man, if any of the Knicks players, coaching staff, or whoever works at MSG, you listen to this podcast and you be like, yo, Hands Down Sports was crazy, son. That dude was like, yo, where's your heart? Let's kick some ass. We got to put our foot down people's necks, man. That's it, dogs. That's how we're going to win this, man. The starters are going to play a lot of minutes. I got you. But when the bench comes in, Kolik, you know what I mean? That dude is nice. I'm telling you, son. Y'all don't watch my videos, B. I don't talk about nobody. But when the bench players come in, you got to give us productive minutes, man. Assists, rebounds, steals, block shots, some points. You know what I'm saying? So when the starters are in, if the game is close, then we can take over the last 5 minutes, the last 2 minutes of the game. So we'll see what's up with that, man. I'm thinking that the Knicks would probably end up going by the last 3 games. I'll say they'll win 52 games, but I'm saying 51. 51 wins. That's great. Last year we won 50 or so, and this year we did the same thing. So we're going the right way. We're going to the right steps to make this happen. We just need everybody to step up, my G. Congratulations to Carmelo Anthony, first ballot Hall of Famer. And if you don't agree, you're loco. You're crazy, son. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, he has a lot of achievements in the NBA. But when it comes to playing basketball And then you talk to the players that played against this man, my G. You're talking about one of the best, man. One of the best. Carmelo Anthony for Denver, for the Knicks, and and then the other little teams like Blazers and stuff. I think he went to the Hawks for like a week. you know, uh, and Carmelo didn't deserve that. He needed to be in one team for the rest of his career, but it is what it is, my G. I mean, if he wants to hang it up as a Denver, I can respect that. You know what I mean? That's where he started his career. That's where he, put himself on the map. But then, they gave his number, number 15 over to Joker, and he's playing with it. So if he retires, he can't play with it. So I don't know how that's gonna go down. I don't know what type of conversation Melo's gonna have. Melo's gonna have to bring him on to 7 p.m. podcast and speak to him right there, face to face. Yo, you're gonna give me the 15 back, right? So I can retire it, right? You get number 16, bro. Get number 14, Joker. I'm on my way, but I don't think that's gonna happen, my G. Now, Giannis, I saw that he did a crazy stat, triple double, 35 points, 20 assists, and 17 rebounds. Giannis, man, hands down, sports is saying, yo, dogs, your contract with Milwaukee is over. Good, New York, for whatever money, it doesn't matter, dogs. Just win the chip, and everything else will play out very nicely for you, man. So in the NBA, everybody's talking about the MVP race, and my G, what are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do? So it's either Joker, because I was just talking about him, number 15 for Denver Nuggets, or it's gonna be SGA, Oklahoma City shooting guard. Now let's go over the stats, because right now SGA is not winning this, B. So when it comes to the most points average, SGA is number one, 32.8 points a game, and Joker's number three, 29.7 points a game average. Right? Number one, number three. Boom. Okay, cool. We're tied. Let me see here. Assists. SGA is 13th overall in the NBA, averaging 6.3 assists a game. But you know the Joker, he be doing those triple doubles, dog. Look at this. 10.2 assists a game he's averaging. He's number 2 in the league, right? While SGA is number 13. And then in rebounds, SGA is a guard. He's not like, what's his name, from the New York Knicks, Hart. He's not like Hart. He's not getting 10 rebounds a game. He only averages 5 rebounds a game. And then Joker averages 12.8 rebounds a game. So his triple double stats, top 3 in assists, rebound, and points. And he's not gonna win the MVP. That I would love to see somebody else win it, man. But with those numbers, Doc, esos números ahí. Yo, B, ¿qué tú vas a hacer con eso, loco? You tell me, G. I can't even go any further, man. Look at like steals per game. 1.8 for Joker and 1.7 for SGA. I mean, he beats him in all the stats except averages for points. What are you going to do, my G? ¿Qué tú vas a hacer, loco? You have to give it to this man. There ain't nobody else putting up those type of numbers, my G. You know? I mean, they might win the championship. If Denver wins the chip, I'll be happy. I mean, at least your man's gets one over there, you know. But man, but Knicks playoff push, baby. Let's go. I can't wait to see how far we go. I mean, I don't expect the finals, but at least Eastern Conference, man. Give me Eastern Conference. If we lose there to the Cavs or the the Celtics, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? We lost the whole entire season against these guys. So what? So what? We lost in the playoffs too. They got our number. Vamos a decir. But lucky Lakers are the one that I'm predicting is going to come out the West. So Denver, you got your Joker stuff, and it's all nice. OKC got the best record. I mean, by a lot. You got the best record in the league. But you might make it to I'll give you the Western Conference if you make it there. But if you face the Lakers in the Western Conference here in Starting Lineup Podcast, I'm gonna say it I'm gonna say it like I've always been saying it since they traded Luca to the Sunshine State. Not really, but whatever. The Lakers are gonna face the Celtics or the Cavs. That's all I gotta say, my G. And when I predict that, don't let it be real, because then that's it. Then we turn off the NBA. No wonder they don't make no money, man. They're losing everything over there. I don't know how to fix it, but I'll see you. If I have an idea, I'll let you know right here on Starting Lineup Podcast, my G. Let's get it. All right, guys. So let me get into the MLB because it's cracking. You know what I mean? The baseball is really interesting right now, man. You know, but really quick, uh, the Dominican ball player for St. John's, Red Storm, I think their team name is. Congratulations that you guys made it to like the playoff bracket in the NCAA, thing. Sorry you didn't go too far, but maybe next year. R.J. Lewis Jr., Dominicano, giving him his props. Yo, keep doing what you're doing, brother. I can see right here. There's bigger things coming up in the near future for you, man. So we'll go on to baseball, but the ticket prices for preseason and regular season have gone up. Um, just I'm not feeling it. But I'm really close to Tampa Bay, so St. Pete is going to spend 22.5 million for the Tropicana to basically fix the roof and see if we can get these guys back on the field pretty soon. Not this year, of course. They're going to be playing all their home games at that uh, Steinbrenner's baseball field with the minor league Yankees and stuff. That's where they're going to be. But so far, there's been some struggles. Rafael Devers is really playing really bad right now. I think the Boston Red Sox are about to bench him for a little bit. um, he's pretty much only had like a few hits, batting a little bit over 100, and this guy's too good. There's something else going on behind the scenes. With him being DH now, and he was a starting third baseman, and then they got Alex Bregman. That's a line local, but Alex Bregman is doing nice. He's batting like 290 and above. 3 RBIs or more, and home run and stuff. It's nice. He's doing his thing. But Rafael Devers, come on, baby, let's step it up, my G. Ya tu sabes. Once April is finished, guarantee this dude is gonna go off, man. You know how it is. Even the Red Sox fans are not even worried about that. So you know how it is. But to me, the best player in MLB is Mookie Betts. Yes, he's not Dominican. Normally I would say somebody like Juan Soto or even my man's. What's his man? The other ball player is Fernando Tatis Jr. I think that dude can be MVP this year if he doesn't get in trouble for steroid stuff. But my guy this year, who I'm watching, is going to be Ellie De La Cruz. I don't think he'll be a 40-40, but I bet you he's going to get close. He'll do 30-30 this year. Watch. He'll do 30-30 this year. 30 stolen bases. You know what I mean? 30 home runs. He'll have more than 30 stolen bases, of course. But I think the kid is going to be reaching heights like the shortstop for Kansas City. He's been having pretty good seasons as well. So the New York Yankees, let's talk about the Yankees now. They're over there using torpedo bats. Now I don't know if it really helps or not. They're basically going to let these teams play with this type of bat to see what happens. If the home runs skyrocket, it could also be steroids too. Some people still get caught nowadays using that garbage, but if it's going to help the batter, great, that's fine. But when are we going to help the pitchers? The pitchers like, yeah, it's not for us. Just go out there and, throw strikes. But what are you gonna do, man? They hit so many home runs like the first week of baseball. They're cheating. It's like, come on, babe. It's a bat, son. But when some guys that are not expected to hit a lot of home runs and they hit 3 in the series, start questioning things. Let me see here. Minor league team Sacramento River Cats will also be playing in the same field that the Oakland Athletics are playing at right now for the regular season games. So to me, I was reading an article and I was like, man, I kind of never thought about that. But, with 2 baseball teams playing almost on a daily on that field, the whatchamacallit, the field, what's it called? The landscaping crew, they're gonna have to be on their best. They're gonna have to step their game up, man, for real, because they're gonna have to make sure that these guys are not getting hurt, that the field is in great condition. They're gonna be working their asses off, man. I don't know how that's gonna happen, but you know what I'm saying. Going into that Oakland Athletics thing is that, so everybody knows that the talks are about going to Las Vegas, right? And then I've been hearing people say, like, if the Oakland A's can't fill the minor league stadium that they're at right now, are you expecting, like, the investors or whoever's going to buy this team or move this team, are they going to feel confident in having sold out seats in this stadium for this baseball team, man? Or is it going to be like, oh, we moved them over here, 5 years later, gone. They didn't make enough revenue, whatever the case may be. They didn't sell enough tickets. But you tell me, man. I mean, that's a really great question. I mean, the first 2 years, with the new jerseys and all that stuff, things can be, profitable. But you let me know, son. Let me know in the comments. How do you feel about a major league team that doesn't even sell out a minor league stadium when they go to a real, you know, MLB stadium? What's going to happen, man? You know, we're going to keep that team there. Real quick, I want to say, congratulations to Geno Smith getting an extension over there with the Raiders. The Giants are not going to draft a quarterback. They got Wilson back there. They gave money to DeVito. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And then they brought in Russell Wilson. So I'm telling you right now, if you're a Giants fan and you listen to my video right now, dog, my G, they're not Ward and Sanders. They're not getting drafted by the Giants, bro. And if they do draft a quarterback, I'm gonna say, yo, I don't know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be very surprised, and I'm just gonna be like, they're gonna win a chip, man. I don't know. They're gonna win a Super Bowl. Yo, my G, I don't know, man. McBride got paid. He's gonna be one of the highest or the highest tight end in the league. 76 million, 43 mil guarantee. Milione. That's 19 per season, bro. Oof. McBride. I don't know, man. He's nice. He's nice. He definitely deserves to get some money, son. Tight ends are not really like wide receivers. But this is a step up for them, man. I hope there's more tight ends out there that want to make Bride up. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, the NFL is gonna be using cameras to know where to position the football when it's those on the line or inches for a first down. They're gonna use certain cameras. Let me see here, 6 cameras in 2025. But they did not put a chip in the ball, so I don't know how this is gonna work, but we'll see, man. It's gonna be interesting, man. Another thing that the NFL has changed or will change for next season is that the ball now will start on the 35-yard line after a touchback. So they're giving them an extra 5 yards. It was on the 30, right? Okay. And then overtime, both teams will have possession of the ball. So uh, they're not just going to be like, oh, you kick a field goal and you're good. You know what I'm saying? If you scored, boom, then the other team has to try to score. And if you stop them, you stop them. That's the game. That's the game. So that's going to be interesting. My picks for this year's MLB. All right. So in the East, I'm going to go with the Yankees and I'm going to go with Baltimore. Knowing that Toronto's my team, I give them like an honorary third place in the East, right behind Boston. Boston's going to be close, but I don't think they're going to. I think it's going to be New York and Baltimore. If Detroit, if the Toronto makes it, great. But you could write down in the comments. I'm a real fan. So I got in the Central. I got Kansas City and Cleveland, and I do like Detroit, even though maybe Detroit takes a little backseat this year compared to what they did last year, make it to the playoffs and stuff. But you never know. They might be still hungry, man. That's a great experience at a ball club, and if it's the same players, man, they can make some noise, man. Detroit. And then in the West, I'm going with Texas and Seattle, babe. I know Houston is kind of like a favorite. They've been in the playoffs and winning championships, World Series in the last 10 years. So, it's hard to, just not leave them in, you know what I'm saying? But I'm rooting for Texas and Seattle this year. Let me see here. In the National League, the East, I got Philly and Atlanta, even though Atlanta hasn't even won yet, or maybe they're 1-9. I don't know. I know I should be cheering for the other New York squad, the Mets, but I think that the Mets don't make it to the playoffs this year. Next year, they'll get another piece or whatever. But I think this year, Philly and Atlanta at the end of the season will be the ones representing the East in the playoffs. Then I got Milwaukee and the Cubbies. Milwaukee Brewers is my favorite team in the Central, man. I think they're the real deal. I don't know why. I still feel like they're gonna make the playoffs. They might make it far, but I don't think they'll make it to the World Series. I hope they do because their team is stacked, bro. If you don't know, go check it out. And then an honorary, let's say third place. I'm hoping Cincinnati steps up a little bit better from last year, and maybe Cincinnati sneaks in. But Milwaukee and Chicago is my favorite in the Central there. And then in the West, I got the Dodgers and the Padres, with Arizona being the little potential wild card. So Dodgers for sure. They're gonna repeat. That's how I look at it. They're gonna repeat. They'll probably face the Yankees again. I don't know. Maybe they lose to the Yankees this time. But San Diego is tight, son. Like just a couple of days ago, you could have went to the standings. The Dodgers were 8-0, and the Padres were 7-0. You know what I mean? I mean, Atlanta was 0-7, but then we'll see later in the year how this all balances out. But to me, I think that the best team is the Dodgers and the Padres out of the West. Judge may win another MVP. And then I was mentioning earlier, Fernando Tatis is my National League MVP candidate, with Mookie Betts right there. Mookie Betts, man. That dude is nice, man. The Dodgers are lucky to have that dude on the squad, bro. You know what I mean? But what can you say? Lucky Lakers. Well, thanks for watching, man. If you stayed this long in the video, man, just go right ahead and type in um, your team that's going to win the World Series. I don't know. I'm already doing like predictions, and it's only the beginning. But we get up, man. Thanks for watching, of course. Hands Down Sports. Estamos aquí.